Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a unbelievable, physically compelling game, so to speak. Both teams was going to fight to the very end, no matter how many points you were up or down. I thought the series of games leading into tonight, us going 0-2, those guys going 0-3, but still being a top 25 team, I thought our guys looked at that and they wanted more. They did a great job of not being able to be sort of forced into those first 4 minutes. In those first 4 minutes, they got past the timeout. I think we scored on Mo Diari's 3. Aiden Shaw was able to make some shots. But ultimately, it was a game that was very physical, and I thought our guys prepared themselves very well, mentally, physically, and emotionally, to come out with a win. It was great scouting by our staff, and we wanted to make some adjustments leading into the game that I thought we were able to see. Ending the game, last 5 minutes, which was crucial. I thought I heard a lot of great voices, great talking, great conversation between our players. They said, don't panic, don't blink. It's a 5-minute game. And they just, at that point, did not pump the brakes. They didn't think twice. They were able to go on a 22-9 run, which I think ultimately led with our defensive stops. Demoy Hodge subbed in, and we got 5 straight stops.
Questions?
Hey, Dre and Kobe, either one. I mean, down 10 with 5 minutes left. What kind of keyed that 10-0 stretch to get you right back in it?
It's things internally that we discuss every day. Different scenarios, ways to respond. I think that's the biggest thing in college basketball right now is the way you respond to things. Refereeing, runs, missed shots, bad defensive possessions. And that allows us, the way we respond allows us to keep going, to keep fighting, and just help us out tonight.
I would say outside of that, I would say our fans really, wanting to win for them. That was the big motivator, and then them cheering so loud that always helps. So.
Kobe, I saw you have a moment in the tunnel there with Lawrence Bowers, kind of just congratulating you on the win. What does that mean to you? Your senior season, obviously, snapped that losing streak at Arkansas. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. We try to come into every game and win, of course, but just having this game and snapping the losing streak in front of our home crowd, especially against a rival like Arkansas, is big for us, and we're happy to do it in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, Coach, Noah Carter out tonight. It seems like you got a lot of big contributions off of the bench. What did you see from some of the guys playing a couple of extra minutes that they're not usually playing?
Well, I was able, and not only Noah, but Mabor Majak, who was integral on our bench as well, and guys help in their own individual ways. Not having those two, we had to fill the gap. And when I say fill the gap, we had to roll our sleeves up. If we saw something missing, next man had to step up, stand out, and make sure they identify it. The energy, we just had to, cultivate it. And I thought our guys did it by staying connected, but also not worrying about the offensive side. They didn't worry about not scoring in the first 4 minutes. They didn't worry about the open threes not falling. They just got back to the next play, gap-free, and just started, focusing on the defensive end. And I'm proud of them for doing that, and ultimately proud of these two. There's no doubt about it with their significant play. I thought Dre Golston being able to make that 3 in the corner, but also that step back and one, and then Kobe, he cramping up, but also spraining his ankle. He still wanted to play, and when you have that type of deliverance from your players, that means they don't want to let the people that standing to their left, their right, down. And obviously, being at home, they didn't want to let the crowd down, and our fight showed that consistently.
Dennis, in a game with so many fouls and free throws, it looked like your guys were looking to draw the contact there late. I mean, what kind of growth did that show, maybe after some other games that didn't always go their way?
I almost got a tech today. No, I'm just joking. I think it's important. It's important that regardless of how physical the game is, you got to play it. And I think our guys came back to the huddle, I want to say, was it like the 15-minute mark? And they said, stop, leave the referees alone, just play the game. Don't look at them, don't complain about nothing. Calls are going to come or they're not. But stay focused on the goal, and the goal and the mission was to come away with the win. And I thought our guys showed the level of focus and not distractions during that physical time. It was a very physical game, and I don't think we backed up one bit. I thought we kept our poise. Both teams did. It was going to be chippy. 2-game losing streak, 3-game losing streak. Somebody wanted to win. That's a quad one win for us. Top 25 team. We'll see.
Dennis, with 8 minutes left, I don't think Sean had scored, and I'm not sure he'd taken a shot. But then obviously huge in those last 7-8 minutes. What did he do for you there, and just being able to kind of turn it on?
I thought his confidence, he was able to link in and dial in with his teammates. His teammates gave him confidence, and I thought they pushed him, said, Sean, step up. And I thought he responded in a great way. He's very good at what he does, but sometimes he tries to appease and just do and play perfect. You can't play perfect basketball. There's nothing perfect about the game. You got to go give your very best, live in your instincts, and now deal with the mistakes that you make or even the successes that you have. And I thought he found his niche, so to speak, and he got some energy from his teammates, and that confidence is definitely a large component of his game tonight.
Coach, Mosley and DR seem to provide a lot of great support tonight, especially in the middle of the game. Just what are your thoughts on kind of how they played tonight?
Well, first of all, Mo and these two can attest. Leading into Texas A&M game, for 2 straight days, Mo was the best player on our team. The best player on our team. That's in addition to the first team all-conference guy, in addition to a guy that got his 1,000-point. Got his 1,000-point today. I thought Mo was able to show his teammates when his back was against the wall who he really is. And sometimes it takes JUCO transfers a semester to adjust. Sometimes it takes international kids a semester to adjust. And all we're understanding is it's a process and not overnight. He got lost in a process that got him to play in these last 3 games, and I thought he was very, very important for us. Same with Isaiah Mosley. There is no doubt about it. His teammates definitely have encouraged him and continues to do so by wrapping their arms around him. And we're excited. You know, I thought we would be at 100%, meaning our entire team tonight. But obviously you guys got the announcement, with the health and safety precautions prior to the game dealing with, Noah and Mabor. And they were on FaceTime in the locker room before the game. No different than they were here sitting in the locker room in our previous game. So it was good to see.
Dre and Kobe, what does that do for you guys that some of these guys are starting to earn more minutes and maybe there's a little more backup than there might have been earlier in the season?
It definitely takes a load off of everyone. We have so much depth. You're not required to do as much as you once were. So that's always a plus, and it lets guys rest a lot more.
Coach Kobe, I call him Coach Kobe. He said, Coach, I think Mo's ready. Right? He said that in those 2 practices. He's soft-spoken, so he's going to come whisper and then just keep walking. I'm like, you want to have a conversation about it? No, he just says it. Hey, Coach, Mo ready. And then just keeps walking, right? Those are the things that you listen to in their players, but they also have confidence in each other and they're connected. The same with Dre. Dre told me when he was on the bench with his 4th, he gave me that puppy dog look, right? Coach, it's time. And he delivered. And you have to listen to your players, and I'm just glad that they have the confidence to give me instruction, but also as young people, it's important that us adults listen to them because they have the insight, they have the intuition that we may not have, and it gives them confidence in their leadership leading into the future.
DeAndre, you were scoring a good bit from the mid-range tonight, as you have for a lot of this season. That's
your career. Mid-range bucket.
Good correction. That's obviously not as popular of a shot nowadays as it once was. So I guess where did this desire to hone your mid-range game come from?
Well, growing up, my dad made me watch a lot of Kobe Bryant. So that's where I originally got it from, and then after that, I just always been able to get to it. Where I'm from, we play a lot of one-on-one, so that shot really is what you shoot. In the one-on-ones, king of the hills, as we call it. So I just been, every day, every year, just getting better at it, and it's just improving at it.
What did it mean to get your 1,000-point tonight in a game like this?
It means a lot to me, actually. It's a big stage. My teammates, my coach staff believe in me, so for me to get 1,000 points tonight was beautiful.
And Coach, with the roster, like you mentioned earlier, with players that can take over a game at any point and can trust each other to kind of take the lead, what does that mean for you guys, like when you get down in games, to kind of rely on everybody, and how does that represent your team's mentality?
What it says is from day one, we built this team about doing things and accomplishing goals by committee. No matter what the circumstance is, whether Kobe is in foul trouble or somebody else is in foul trouble or someone is not available to play, I thought our guys have always, because of their versatility, because of their confidence, been able to fill in the gaps and lock in on a game plan on both ends of the basketball and stay connected and play multiple positions. That's how our team's built, because something's coming down the road is not always perfect, and as the season goes on, whether it's fatigue, whether it's guys hitting the wall, right, you have opportunities for guys to step up. And they are waiting and biting at it and trying to figure out when their opportunity will be there that I call on them. And tonight it was Kobe and Dre. In the first half, it was Isaiah and Aiden Shaw and Mo. So it was a tale of two halves for our team, but it's going to be by committee for us.
Dennis, the 30-some-odd fouls only matter if you cash them in. You guys barely missed a free throw in the last 5 minutes. I mean, how nice is that to see your guys step up and knock those down?
I think this is like the first game at home in a long time that we shot more free throws than our opponents. I think we did it against Vandy possibly, but to come away with more makes than they had attempts is crucial. And they were playing a very physical game. I thought at Vanderbilt, if you watch the tape, Vanderbilt did a great job of out-physicaling that team. They were physically imposing, and that's how Vanderbilt came away with a win. And I thought, and I know from Musselman's perspective, that's something that they wanted to address. So they wanted to play more physical. We had to make sure we were strong with the ball. We were finishing through contact and not obviously complaining about if there was a foul not called. And I thought our guys fought through it in a very mature way.
Dennis, DeMoy's still working through the shooting slump, but it doesn't seem like he lets that affect him on the other end. I mean, he took that charge late, had the big steal. Of course, what's that say about him that he keeps it up on one end when the other end?
I thought he has in the past allowed his offense to dictate his defense, but he's a guy that I've always said all along could be a potential defensive player of the year with his ability to get deflections but also be in the right place. He has some of the quickest hands I've seen in a long time. He can block shots, but ultimately he has to continue to be patient. And when those shots come, right, I thought he rushed and tried to sort of, rattlesnake it versus just calmly and collectively shoot the ball. He takes it personal. He's on the court right now shooting shots. And that's a guy that I believe will help us. And right now going 0 for 5, he's not happy about it, but he was able to knock down some free throws and finish with 7 points.
Kobe, Arkansas only had 8 second chance points tonight, which is a lot less than the last time y'all met up. How were y'all able to kind of limit the impact on the offensive rebounds?
We made a big focal point, and we had to hit guys, keep them away from the rim. And if it's I was talking to Coach before the game, if it's a 50-50 ball, you're going over with somebody bigger than you, tip the ball out, try to get it to our teammate, to another teammate, just keep it away from the rim. And so that helped a lot.
Time for one more question.
Coach, in terms of this game and the big win after the 2-game losing streak, what do you think are the lessons that you can take away and use to propel yourself in the game against Alabama on Saturday?
Well, I have the utmost respect, and I believe that Alabama's the #1 team in the country. As it relates to the lessons, we'll have to watch film, debrief. I focus on us. I think we have to understand at this point in the season, we have to do the things that we do well. And that's what it's going to come down to. You can't control, the other team, the other locker room, but they're going to be prepared to play. Our guys will be prepared to play. Our fans will be prepared to support us. And I want to thank them again for coming out tonight, because I truly believe as a gold rush, they showed up and they helped us to this victory. So ultimately our atmosphere, we have to lean on that a little bit as well, but also keep playing, and I'll have to debrief and let you know. Our focus have been on Arkansas, so sorry I don't have much for you on that Alabama question.
All right, thanks, guys.